Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Arsenal Way podcast with me, Samrid and Ashwin. We're a brand new channel based out of India. Please help us grow. Our socials are right there. We're on Twitter at the Arsenal Way, on Facebook, the Arsenal Way, as well as on YouTube. Click the bell icon to get notified whenever we put out a new video. Subscribe and help us grow. Share it with your friends, family, and whoever you think is our general football fans or Arsenal fans. That's even better. And yeah, just moving on to the disaster that was last night, and I make no bones about it that it was a disaster, and it will be a disaster as the season progresses, and as we move into the new season. Um, both of us went for an Arsenal win, a relatively comfortable Arsenal win, because both of us thought that Olympiacos were going to turn up anyways, and they would go for it, and that would probably play into our hands. Um, and with the lineup that he picked, Ashwin, I really thought that he's serious about it, and there was no reason why that 11 should not have gotten a result last night. It just seemed like the Arsenal of old, the Arsenal under Emery, that just thought that they'll turn up and the result will come. There was no cohesion. Players were just not on the ball. Lacazette had one of his worst games in an Arsenal shirt that I can remember. Leno making another mistake. Um, Mustafi, Socrates, Luis, players who've been doing well over the last 10 games or so, when it mattered, we just didn't turn up. I don't want to blame Aubameyang as much, because more often than not, he's been our savior. But this is like another big game that he's gone missing. Um, one of the two or three big games, and I don't want to again slate him because he's one of the reasons why we are where we are in the league. But it was disappointing to even Arteta for that matter. I For all the praise that he's gotten, I think it just shows that he's still learning. And I'm not going to get like throw my toys out of the pram and get pissed off at Arteta because at what he did. I think Lacazette should have come off at halftime, introduced Martinelli, who did more in those 15 minutes that Lacazette did in 105. That that there's a photo that's doing the rounds of Lacazette, who should have, instead of using his feet, he tried to, I don't know, dive bomb onto the ball and somehow managed to score. Try to score rather. Um, yeah, it's just a very very deflating result yesterday.
I don't even know where to begin. Uh, the game it went into extra time for us. The game ended at 4 o'clock in the morning. I haven't slept because the game ended at 4. You after a game like that, you can't really sleep after immediately. And then I had to wake up in like a couple of hours to go. My wife was going somewhere, so I had to go drop her to the airport. So I literally haven't slept after last night. And I think your your intros just summed up everything. We were terrible last night, and I think Olympiacos came with a plan. It was just to sit back and frustrate us. They had 11 men behind the ball. That's all they did. They just wanted to frustrate us, slow down our gameplay, make sure we don't find our rhythm, and hit us on the break. Which is what they did. They had a couple of set piece chances and they scored from that. Uh, I don't know. You talk about Lacazette. He was pretty poor yesterday. I mean, not only him. I think the whole team was poor. I don't think we can just single him out. Yeah, the chance where he should have used his leg instead. He tried to stoop down and try to head the ball was a little silly. I don't think you can blame Aubameyang because he did get the goal that equalized, and we should have ideally seen it through with like 3 minutes to go where we foolishly conceded. And so I mean, it felt like same old Arsenal. you're not it's like they say it's hard to change an old dog. I mean, older, they say that it's hard to. I mean, it's hard to train a dog with new tricks or things
Like
like
new
that.
tricks on
Yeah,
old
yeah,
dog. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it felt like that, and I don't know what it was. Just before the game, Obinio on Twitter put up a long thread about how Arsenal. I don't know if you read it, but I happen to do. And he was just talking about how we've been under Emery versus how we were under Arteta. I mean, how we were under Arteta versus how we were under Emery. The goals against and the goals for. And the last point was about that if Arsenal continue the way they will, um, even though the defenders have improved, you know, uh, it's not going to last long, and we're going to end up conceding more goals because he said, the stats are proving that, and that's exactly what had happened yesterday. I think when Mustafi went off after he was injured, I think it was two. You can't even blame Socrates because he was cold. He's coming straight away and he was expected to do a job. But that header should have been avoided. I mean, Louis should have avoided that header, and that corner shouldn't have happened in the first place. I don't know if it was pressure, but Leno kicked it out, and it was just a mess. And you know what really hurts me is that uh, Olympiacos have given the rest of the Premier League and the other teams a blueprint on how to play Arsenal. Come to the Emirates, put 10 men behind the ball, frustrate Arsenal, and try hitting them on the break or getting a set piece, and we're vulnerable at it, and more likely than not, we're going to concede, and we're probably going to lose the game. And there was like what was really frustrating was for 105 minutes. I'm talking about the first half of extra time as well. It didn't look like we could break them down. I think our first shot on goal came when Lucas Torreira came on in the second half, or was it the first half of extra time that he came and took a shot on goal? We had zero shots on goal, which was, I, I don't know. Like, I have no words for what happened, what we saw last night.
Um, I don't know. I think the I'm trying to think of the instances from last night. I generally rewatch games whenever we play, be it the games that we won or lost. I couldn't be asked this morning. Um, I don't want to sit here and make a play-by-play analysis because it's just gonna annoy me even more than I already am. Um, what I'm unable to wrap my head around the fact that these players who and let me get one thing out of the way first. This is a very mediocre squad. We are in ninth, and that's, I think, a far greater reflection of what this squad's capabilities are. Um, there are players that need to be moved on, irrespective of what their stature is. The likes of Ozil, Mustafi, Lacazette. Um, I would, I would go as far as to say even Bellerin needs to be given a kick up the ass. Um, Kolasinac, if he was fit, he's not, but he's just not cut out for what we're trying to do. Um, Even the midfield, for that matter, there are players that we are have just are not really contributing very much. There's talk of that they want to retain Ceballos. Um, there's talk of Lacazette saying that he has no reason to leave. Because let's face it, I think this is the last 11 games that I think all that we're going to see of Aubameyang. Um, because there's no way he's going to waste another year or whatever time to to sit around and play no European football. Leave the Champions League aside. Um, there's a part of me that's happy with the result because I know we're not going to make fifth. So I've made my peace with the fact that next season we have no Europe. Uh, what that means in terms of players who are coming in and how much help Arteta gets will only be down to the money generated from player sales, and maybe the additional money that we can somehow scrounge up from behind the sofas at the Emirates, I guess. Um, because if nothing else, it just shows that. And I don't want to be, like I said at the start, I don't want to be too harsh on Arteta, because he's basically come into this job with two hands and a leg tied behind his back. Um, he should have, he or whoever the new manager is, who, I don't think anybody can fix this squad at this point. I think even if a Pep comes in, we're far beyond repair as of this point. And the only thing that we can do actually is to hope and pray that, if for nothing else, the players who will remain have some confidence in what we're trying to build or what Arteta is trying to do. Um, and I saw a lot of slack for him as well on Twitter. I'm not going to sit here and tell and start screaming Arteta out, or he doesn't know what he's doing, because quite honestly, you need to give. We all gave the likes of Embrius 2 seasons at least, or a season and a half for that matter. Um, and I think everyone is patient because they've seen signs of progress, but those ugly heads will keep rearing up once every now and then, and it'll happen at a time where we can't afford to make mistakes. And that is just purely down to the caliber of players that we have. I'm not saying we're going to be getting a Sergio Ramos, but the expectation that some of the Arsenal fans have that Saliba is going to come in and we're going to like suddenly turn our fortunes around, or Tierney is now suddenly the missing link on at left back, um, or as the phrase goes, absence makes the heart grow fonder. People who are not here would suddenly just make this team better. No, that's not going to happen. There is a drastic need of surgery in this squad. Um, the Kroenkes, it is Josh Kroenke was at the stadium last night. There's a video doing the rounds of him walking out with San Lehi. Um, yeah, I mean, it's come to a point where I was talking to a very close friend of mine who's an Arsenal fan. Also, he said that it's he was done yesterday, and he and I have been like we pretty much talk every day about Arsenal for the last since we were in college, like for the last 17 years or so. All we talk about is just Arsenal and nothing else. And yesterday was the first time I've seen him in a while just be, you know what, man, I'm done with this. I can't deal with the constant defeatism and shooting ourselves in the foot every second, every third week, because we can't seem to get rid of that. And quite honestly, if you look at it from a larger perspective in terms of where we are as a club, yesterday it was an embarrassing defeat. You've lost in the pre-quarter final stage to the likes of an Olympiacos, who we've always beaten in the Champions League. Somebody had said that, I made the comment, in fact, that if this was Wenger, we probably wouldn't have lost it. Or and I think I was told that I think in '98 we lost the likes of Lens. I think back in the Champions League. Um, so you can make all the comparisons you want. You can draw all the parallels you want. At 37 is when Pep started managing all the younger managers and whatnot. You can keep doing that, but the fact of the matter remains that until this squad is replaced, and I think after yesterday's result, I've stopped buying the argument that we're really good on paper when we're not even good on paper. To get bantered off by the likes of the United fans, who quite honestly are are what 3 points ahead of us in the league, 4 points ahead of us in the league, who just happen to have, as always in Europe, get easier opponents than everyone else. Um, is is annoying. And what's even more annoying is the fact that five really big clubs, five, no, let me say not really big clubs, five difficult teams that we would have probably faced in the next round if we had beaten Olympiacos, all dropped out yesterday. Porto, Benfica, Ajax, two more, I guess, for the life of me, I can't remember. So we had a more than a fair shout of winning it this season. Maybe the likes of a Wolves or a United or an Inter would have been difficult games, but it was a kick in the teeth, and also I think a reality check for everyone who was flying about Arteta, how good he is and how this team is coming together. Because the fact of the matter is, again, is that there is the enormity of the task that Arteta has and the coaching staff at the club have is ridiculous. And I think I've gone on for a little too long now about this. I'm just going to leave it to you.
Uh, I can totally understand the doom and gloom, and I've been low the whole day. It's I was reading a tweet, and I think I resonate with that. Since Wenger left, I think there were like two really big days that have depressed me. I think one was the loss in Baku, where we should have beaten Chelsea, and I think yesterday was the one big day that really depressed me a lot. Because going out in the, like you mentioned, not even the quarterfinals, the pre-quarterfinals, the round of 32 against a team like Olympiacos, where, to be honest, I think we were discussing this even before the game yesterday, where we should have had we taken our chances at Olympiacos, we should have been at least 3 or 4 goals ahead. I mean, at least won the game by 3 goals. So yeah, man, shit happens, but I'm going to try taking a positive spin on this. I remember you saying you want nothing to do with the Europa League and you don't want to see it, and I said I want us to win it. I want us to go through at least to the semis or to the finals. But the way Arteta is setting out his teams, where he's not resting a lot of players. We played the same team practically they played 4 games in the space of 11 days, and you could see that yesterday. They were out of ideas. They were tired. They were jaded. You could see the heaviness in their legs, and so I'm seeing this as a blessing. I'm not saying we're going to get anything. We're not going to get top 4 or top 5, but this gives us a better run in. I know we've discussed how we still have a very tough April ahead of us, where we have Liverpool, we have City, we have Spurs away, and who else? I think Leicester away is still remaining. And it's these games. I mean, no, I think Leicester come home, but these games are never easy for us. And I mean, out of 12 points, I'm not confident about taking even 3 out of those games. So yeah, man. I think let's just take it positively. The biggest thing would be if we are so down, I'm pretty sure that the players are going to be down as well. Like for Aubameyang to miss that last chance in the end, which was like an open net, and you could see his reaction. Like he was almost in tears, and when he was giving the interview, also you felt sorry for him. I don't know if this is going to want to keep him at the Arsenal, because it really looks like he really cares. People had this notion about how Aubameyang is a person who's going to come and disrupt everything, but uh, he's when given the armband, he's shutting up and doing his job. He's playing on the left wing. He's not shouting about it. He's not crying, not throwing his toys out of the pram. He's putting in the effort. He's scoring us goals. And I was reading a stat that without Aubameyang's goals, I think we would have been 17th or 18th in the league. So what's going to be really hard is for
I think
Arteta to.
isn't he now like the fastest to 50 and 50
I
and what
I
78,
I think he's
something
the
like that?
second fastest 250. I think so. But yeah, that's his record. Like nobody even mentions it. I think since the time he's come to the league, he's got the most goals, and that list compiles of Mane, Aguero, Harry Kane, Mo Salah, right? Raheem Sterling. So all these guys, like he's competing with all of them, and he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. But I don't know if he's going to want to stick around. He's 30. He's going to turn 31 next year. Whether, I mean, if Real Barca come calling, it's probably his last big contract that he's going to get. I don't know if he wants to sit and waste it with us, and not play in Europe and not play against the big teams that everybody wants to do. And for a player of his stature, should really deserve to play. So I'm hoping that Arteta can quickly turn this around in terms of just getting the players up, because it's going to be hard after yesterday. It's. I think Wenger spoke about this. Wenger's talked about this a lot. Confidence to For confidence to come into players, it takes a lot of time, and as it can go away just like that. Like so we finally, like after going through so much shit with Emery and even with Lundberg not having that manager bounce. I think we spoke about not having the bounce with Arteta as well. The team finally looked better. We put 3 games, we won 3 games back to back, and uh, I think after yesterday's game, that all that confidence can just go away from all the players. So again, more than anything else, Portsmouth's not going to be an easy game. Fratton Park is always a scary place to go to. It's like a potential banana skin. We've used this term so much this season, but it is. And I don't know what he's going to do in terms of whether he's going to start these guys to bring back their confidence, or whether he's just going to give them a rest and risk it by playing the youngsters and then again getting knocked out of the competition. But it'll be so Arsenal if in the space of 5 days or 4 days we get knocked out of Europe and we get knocked out of FA Cup, because historically Feb has been the worst month for us, and that usually used to happen when we were in the Champions League. We get knocked out in the last 16, and then the FA Cup we get knocked out of again. So I hope it doesn't happen, but uh, I don't want to blame Arteta. It's nothing that he can do. Like, I'm pretty sure that he revved them up and prepped them for the game the same way that he always does. It's just that the players didn't have it in them yesterday, and Olympiacos they just outsmarted us. They waited for their chance, and they came and they grabbed. It was a smash and grab, and they got it yesterday. It was it's sad that negative football always seems to win.
No, I don't think it's negative football, Ashwin. I think it's the fact that teams have figured a way to beat us. Um, More experienced managers have figured out a way on what the soft underbelly is, and then they go for it. I just think smarter players. I think smarter players are always great in the team. Might have, and smarter players invariably equals more technical players who are aware of what they need to be doing on the pitch. I don't think we have that, and I think that is going to remain an issue. I don't think this summer is enough. Will give us enough time to make the changes that we need to. Um, but yeah, I understand the silver lining piece. I do understand that. I think we'll have longer breaks now between now till the end of the season. The FA Cup, I think, uh, going as far as in the FA Cup and hopefully finishing strong in the league, I think should be the focus. It's on Arteta to now lift the players because he's been in a position like this. He knows what it, having worked under Pep and having won titles under Pep, he knows what is required in the final run in. Um, Different challenge completely now that he's manager. Um, but yeah, let's see. I think Fratton Park will be interesting to see the kind of lineup he puts. I think it will be a second string squad. Um, he will play. I think Mari will definitely come in. I think Socrates will come in. The likes of Niles and maybe Tierney, who's I think back in full fitness at least in terms of training with the first team squad, will come in. Um, the likes of Willock, I think you'll start seeing. So I don't want to think too much about the lineup because I think it will be a fresher squad. I think Martinez will finally get a game as well. I um, I just hope we're not too down. It's difficult, like you said. You made the Arsens comment around. You can very easily just lose complete confidence. I think. I think we should go through because Portsmouth are again, at least on paper, are lower league side. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of mentality these guys come in with. But and you're right. I don't know. I can't think of a result. I'll always say I want Arsenal to win. I think we will win it. I just don't. Um, I don't know by how many. I think it might just be a close game for all you know. I think we might end up conceding first. If we concede first and if we concede really early, players will be up for it because then again it's for a club like Portsmouth where they are currently. Um, Having a scalp like Arsenal is always a good feather in their cap. But it'll be interesting to see the lineup he puts out, and I more than anything else, I want to see the performance of what the players or how the players are going to be doing on the pitch. Um, and what Arteta has and how he preps them up because you'll know the moment the moment the match kicks off, you'll really know if these guys really want it or not. Uh, and if nothing else, these are players. Everyone who's the second string is now pushing the first teamers, and their first team spots. Centre back positions are up for grabs. Fullback positions are up for grabs. Well, outside of left fullback, where I think Tierney will come back, I think there's definitely enough scope for players to stake their claim. And I think that's what's going to happen, and we'll know Monday night. I think is the game. We played Tuesday, yeah, so Monday night. So yeah, I think whatever happens, I think there is now the idea now should be to prepare for next season, take the next 11, 12 games to figure out who needs to stay, who needs to go. Um, Try out as many formations as possible, I guess, to figure out what your best 11 are in a particular formation, without losing sight of the fact that we're still in it in a way, I guess. And hopefully we finish off strong. I and you and I think we made our points on the Europa League. I would have liked to win it because this is a competition I think we could genuinely have won. Um, we got unlucky when Wenger was here. We should have won it last season. This season, I think we've had the chance to win it. Um, so we've been close over the last 3 years, and the fourth season, I'm just glad we're not in it anymore. However sad it was, I just think it's time. I guess I guess just a clean break from Europe would do us good, like it did Chelsea as well, I guess.
I don't even know what to say. I think it's completely different because Chelsea that year Chelsea didn't have anything in Europe to do. They went out and heavily invested in the summer. I think that was the summer that they went out and got Fabregas and Diego Costa and things like that. So that's the thing that is really scary for us is that Arsenal don't have the sort of investing power that Chelsea had for us to go out and say, okay, these players don't work, let's go buy these players, and make the team competitive again. Um, I don't know. I feel like more than anything else for Monday night, uh, Arteta, whatever side he picks, whether it's the senior team or it's the second team, he needs to make sure that they play with the same confidence and they move the ball around with the same pace and confidence that they've been doing for the past 3 or 4 games. You mentioned that if we start off slow, we're doomed, and that's the thing, right? Like if the tempo of the game is slow again, I fear for us Monday night. I hope they just go out there, play without fear, don't have that pressure, and just play. And another thing that really affects me, I think when you spoke about Pablo Murray, this popped in my head. What really bothers me is that United went and got 2 players in the window. They signed Igalo and they signed Bruno Fernandes, right? And the thing is, they're using the two of them, and you can see the impact it's made to the team, right? Like Bruno scored an assist already. Igalo scored last night. Okay, they were playing weaker teams than usual, but they're still making an impact. The fact that we've gone and signed a defender, why aren't we using him? Right? Like, why is he not even on the bench? We've gone and signed Pablo Murray. We've gone and signed Cedric Suarez. Fine, Suarez is injured, but why are we not playing Pablo Murray? That's my biggest concern. And those are the sort of questions that you need to ask. And I still can't. I know we spoke about not wanting to blame Arteta, but you need a goal and you bring on Torreira instead of Martinelli. And why would you bring Martinelli on in the second? Like, he's used him as his fourth substitute. Like, why would he not bring him on earlier? Like, I felt Joe Willock was ineffective when he came on. I think he's also struggling with, I don't know if it's a confidence issue that as soon as that he was playing well, that he's been dropped by Arteta, or I don't know what it is, but he just doesn't seem to be able to. As soon as the ball is pinged to him, he's not being able to control it and play the sort of passes that he wants to. And the impact that you spoke about Martinelli making, had we brought him on a little earlier, I think that would have made a difference to the team. But anyway, maybe Martinelli is not completely fit because he wasn't even on the bench on the weekend. Maybe there is something in the back that we don't know about. So that's us.
So that's our pod, guys, for this week. Unfortunately, not as cheery as we'd have hoped. Else, I think we would be sitting here discussing who we're playing in the next round. Thanks, Ashwin. This was, as I think the season is gone, I think this has been another one of those low podcasts for us. But thank you guys for tuning in. Just once again, the socials, we're on Twitter at the Arsenal Away. We're on Facebook, the Arsenal Away as well. And please click the subscribe button to help us grow. Click the bell icon to get notified. And I promise we're not all pods are as gloomy as this one. And yeah, thanks Ashwin, and thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, Amrit. Thank you, guys.